Who doesn't love Studio Ghibli films? I know me and Jean and a lot of other people have definitely spent a lot of our childhoods and adulthoods watching these movies over and over and over again.
I drove my parents insane with it. They're mad.
Yeah, worth it.
It's so worth it.
Yes, and we're going to be ranking our top 5 personal picks on our favorite Studio Ghibli films.
When I was a kid, I watched Totoro on repeat, probably about 100, 200 times. I just thought, like, it was so cute. What little kid doesn't love this big, fluffy spirit friend?
Yeah, I know. I love it. I wish I knew about, like, Studio Ghibli when I was, like, younger, so I could have bugged my parents with it. But it was more of a thing that I definitely got into when I was in high school with, like, my best friend. And we binged all the movies. Like, every single time we hung out, we watched them together. I know. Like, we're like, we both love anime. Hey, you want to, like, hang out and watch, like, 3 Studio Ghibli films in one day? I'm like, yeah!
That's a great friendship.
Really is. We would still do that, honestly.
Good.
Yeah, but...
Shall we get Ghibli with it?
Let's get Ghibli with it. But before we go any further and get Ghibli with it, don't forget to subscribe to Project Nerd and hit that bell icon if you want to get more of our videos in your inbox. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get Ghibli with it.
All right, so we're ranking our top 5. That means number 5 is our lowest on the list, even though it is not low at all on our list. And number 1 is going to be our absolute favorite. So we're going to start with number 5, right?
Yeah, we're starting with number 5. This is really, really hard to put,
so hard.
Number 5. But I'm going to start out with my number 5, and then we'll go to yours. My number 5 is Ponyo. Ponyo is one of those movies that it just makes me so happy. It was also my first Studio Ghibli film that I ever watched. Watched it with my friend back in maybe 5th grade or something. And I don't know, I love the ocean theming, the environmental message, and the designs and the colors, and just everything is so, so beautiful. And Ponyo's such a cutie. Like, let her be a fish human girl and eat some, let her eat some ham.
Definitely an amazing movie. Unfortunately, didn't make my list, but if it was extended just a little bit, it would be on there. I know that, like, all the underwater scenes are so gorgeously animated. Like, that's one of the ones I'm craving watching right now, actually. I might, after this call, just go and watch it real quick.
Yeah, I feel that too. It's like, I just think about it, and I'm like, wow, I would love to watch that again right now. And Ponyo's mom, she's so pretty. Like, like the goddess of the sea. Like, oh my God. I look at her and I'm like, my heart.
I know. I'm like, hits me right in the love.
Yes.
What a beautiful sea goddess.
Yes. All right. Before I gush about this movie anymore, what's your number 5, Jean?
Oh, my number 5, what we just talked about, My Neighbor Totoro. I have watched that movie so many times. I love that movie. Like, as a kid, I watched Studio Ghibli films with my brother, my older brother, and we would go to the library and we would rent this movie and we would, like, sit together and watch it on repeat for like 7 times over and over again. It's what entertained us through our whole youth. It's just really cute, and it kind of has this good environmental lesson about, like, preserving nature. It's also about these 2 little girls who are moving to a new place. They're getting accustomed to things, and they kind of learn the value of the spirit realm and nature and how everything is kind of interconnected. So it's this beautiful message.
Totoro is just a great movie. It sadly didn't make my list, kind of like how Ponyo didn't make the list for you, but I love Totoro. I have a Totoro, hand towel in my bathroom. Like, I love me some Totoro. So cute.
It's so cute, like this big fluffy spirit guardian you just want to hug.
I know, and there's just so many whimsical, beautiful scenes. Like, you go in the cat bus and, like, and then there's
Would you ride in the cat bus if it was real?
I mean, why not?
I feel like one of my goals is not to like get into a cat. But
You know what? I'm looking at my cat right now, who is like right over there, and I'm like, I wouldn't want to be, in my cat, but like, cat bus is different.
that's true. It's a bus that is a cat, so a little different. You're right. I would ride it.
Yeah, there we go. We convinced you.
What about your number 4? I know this is a really hard list, but what'd you pick?
I know. My number 4 is The Wind Rises, which
Ooh.
I know isn't a popular pick because, it's more recent. And, it is more geared towards adults because it is more like, the biography, in the life of, this guy. He wants to, engineer and design planes. And it says a lot about dreams and following what you want in life. And, it just goes through his whole life. And, it's doesn't have as much magic and things like that. It's very realistic. It's just such a beautiful, heartwarming movie. And it just, romance. We got planes. We have drama. There's just so much in here, and it just really encapsulates a beautiful, in the life of Jiro.
Well, I have to admit, I've never seen it. I hear it's extremely touching and sort of touches on reality and versus like your mind and pursuing your goals and things like that. So I would watch it if I didn't have a guarantee that it would make me sob.
I highly recommend it. It could be worse. You could be watching Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, I think this was actually the first one I ever saw in theaters because they had it in theaters one time. I'm like, oh, let me go.
Yeah, I don't even know which one I saw in theaters. Probably Ponyo.
Yeah.
Because when that came out, my brother and I were like, let's go right now.
Yeah.
My 4th place pick is a movie I actually didn't see until this year. It is Castle in the Sky. I know most people saw it when they were kids. I didn't. I was too busy just repeat watching Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service. But Castle in the Sky, I watched it this year for the first time, and it is so good. It's so really good. Oh, like, first of all, Shida, an adorable main character.
Love her.
Adorable. Great villains. Really thought out, interesting bad guys that have a cool history to them and have this motivation and drive. Also, there's Pazu, adorable little boy. I mean, him and Shida work so well together. They're really cute. And my absolute favorite character of all time, Dola, the female old lady pirate, is in this. And she's such a, I don't know if I can say this in the video, she's such a badass. She's so cool. Like, sky pirates, I love anything with sky pirates. And an environmental message to boot, and robots. Like,
it's so cool. Like, how could you not love this movie? Well, I'm so glad that you finally saw it. Castle in the Sky is actually my number 3.
It's like we're connected or something.
I know. We're vibing. We're great minds think alike.
And we are geniuses here.
We really are. But yes, Castle in the Sky, like you said, great environmental message. Amazing characters. I love them all. And like you said, the space pirates. It's so cool. And I love it when Shida and Pazu finally get to Laputa and, their hard journey, pays off. But there's still so much more that happens after they get there. You might think that the whole movie ends when they get there. It's like, oh, it's all good. But no, it's not. And that cool robot up at Laputa, love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's really awesome. And it also kind of talks about like the, how I interpreted it, some of it was that you can really see the emotional depth of the characters and a little bit of like how to emotionally manipulate a child, because you have this, what is his name? Muska? The main villain, the guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He like completely emotionally manipulates Shida, and I was just like, this is hitting too close to home, man. Like, adults trying to get kids to do what they want for their own adult goals, and it's a bit of like,
messed up.
It's very messed up.
but we appreciate the lesson.
Yes.
And also,
Always appreciate your lessons.
Such gorgeous animation. Just like all the Studio Ghibli movies, there's some really, really beautiful scenes. Like, I will never, ever forget Sheeta with a necklace just floating up in the sky to be able to, you know, fall down, you know, gently. And
she falls down and Pazu sees her and it's like, wow, a flying person, that's cool.
Yeah.
But also the scene where she walks in when they get to Laputa and she walks into like the temple and they're following the robot and they see how nature has taken over everything and they see how like most of the robots have kind of gone to nature and have like flowers and plants and trees and the one has birds coming to rest on his shoulder.
I know.
Beautiful.
So, and we love the environment message. We stand it.
Absolutely. 100%. Go green.
Yes. All right. Your number 3.
My number 3. This was hard to put in third place. Princess Mononoke.
Solid.
I'm going to say fantastic movie. One of the greatest environmental messages of any movie of our time. When I was little, I couldn't get through it. But as an adult, I kind of understand why there is so much gross, disgusting scenes in it that really kind of wrench at you and really try and get this a reaction out of you as a person, seeing the environment be corrupted and seeing like all the worms wiggling out of the boar and like the darkness coming through it. I was like, oh, icky. But now I'm like, yes, perfect point. Great analogy. Another one with great villains and great female villains, such as Lady Eboshi. She is so powerful. She runs this town full of women who are industrializing and they're building things and they're creating a place for themselves, but in the process they're destroying the environment. And so you see San, this strong female lead character, who rides around with wolves and like is a wolf person pretty much. It's sort of this like contrast between spirit and nature and industrialization and human profit, which is just so touching and necessary, and it like that's a message that doesn't go away for humans that we also can't seem to learn from.
Sadly not. Maybe we need to watch it a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, now we're in the top 2.
Yeah.
Hardest
All right.
ones.
I know, it's so hard to get down to the bottom of the list, you know, your tops, and you're like, oh man, I didn't include this one, I didn't include this one. But my number 2 is Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah,
makes me so happy. Like I said, for a lot of them, Howl's Moving Castle is just a movie that just brings me joy. Just all the imagery, the scenes. I love Sophie. I love Howl. I love, you know,
Calcifer.
I love the castle. You know, it is so cool looking. It is like so steampunk, and I love that Hal is, you know, just was a wizard that, you know, and he has some problems, but
yeah, but he's so cool anyway.
He's so cool, and like one of those anime boys, I'm just like handsome.
Yeah, I can't lie.
Yeah, I'm like
he's just very good looking, just like handsome, but I mean he's very into his looks, so obviously he's going to be very handsome.
Yeah.
I mean that was also my second place. For pretty much the same reasons. Love all the characters. It's so good. It's iconic. It is an iconic film that I think everybody should see. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go watch it, then come back and rewatch this video. But
watch it right now.
Yeah, it's having the environment play a role as if it were a character is something that I'm going to talk about for my first place pick. But you have this castle that moves and kind of plays the role as a character, and you have Calcifer who's running the castle, who honestly, his anger, I vibe with him so well. Every time I watch it, I'm like, yes, Calcifer, I also am angry. But you have this concept and this creation that is so stunningly animated, and the fact that if I was a wizard, I'd probably be running a shop just like Hal's, where I have this portal door that you can run the shop from multiple locations.
Why would you not? If you're a wizard, like, and you could do that, why would you not do that? Like, that's
exactly. And all the scenes are so beautiful.
I know. I just have so many in my head right now. I'm like, the end, like when like Hal and Sophie are like, and then like Sophie making hats, and like, you know, just the castle and the bacon and egg scene with Calcifer,
and the star scene where Hal is young and standing alone in the field of stars. Oh, there's so many things about this movie that every time I watch it again, I'm like, I cannot believe I forgot about this scene. Let me
I
rewatch
know.
it. Like
I feel like I tend to forget about the star scene that you're talking about, but then when you talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, and there's just so much amazing.
It's a really great film. And again, awesome villains as well, who are kind of like, who's the villain here? Like, who did bad in the past? Like, who's the real? I don't know. It's a very good movie.
I love it. I love it. All right, it's the final countdown. We are going down to our number 1 picks. This is so hard. I can't believe I'm leaving out so many amazing movies here. But of course, we can only fit 5 in here. So
5.
Let's get cracking with it. My
right,
number 1 is Princess Mononoke. Like you said earlier, I love the characters in this movie. You know, I love San, and the dichotomy between her and Lady Eboshi, like you said, the industrialization versus nature conflict, it's so well done. And as someone who's an environmentalist like myself, like I resonate with this movie, and I can see how people could side with Lady Eboshi, because, you know, she's giving all these amazing female workers, like, you know, a spot, and they're being empowered and everything. So, and not, you know, it's not as clear as, you know, you might think, especially, but obviously we got to save those spirits in the forest, and, you know, it does have some grotesque imagery, and definitely works to make it even better, I think.
I think it's a sucker punch to everybody who watches it, to like kind of highlight and say, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, like, you know, with on his arm, like
Ashitaka, where his arm starts getting all like wiggly, and he's like,
when it starts getting all awful, because, you know, the boar spirit, you know, I have the office, and it's like, the evil is like getting up here, and it's like, oh man, and like, there's just so much in this movie. And, you know, like, San is just the wolf princess, and that's really neat, and she's so cool, and I love her, and I love the journey that all the characters take, and how they all learn and grow, and I probably didn't have the like same grossed out reaction as you did, because when I first watched it, it was a little bit like that, but I was definitely like, you know, late middle school, early high school when I first saw this movie, so it hit a little bit.
Wee lass. I was too young to be watching it.
Too young. But you know what? Young people still can enjoy this movie if they can power through that bit.
I used to be squeamish, and now I'm like, doesn't bother me at all. But
it's like, yes.
But it's such a movie that is definitely should be on everybody's to watch list. It doesn't matter if you're not a fan of anime or if you're not a fan of animation. Like, the message of this movie and the writing of this movie and the development of this movie is enough to make it enjoyable for everyone.
Absolutely. Go watch it, please. All right. And your number 1, Jean, let us know.
My number 1 is Spirited Away. I love this movie, and I have been told by people before that this is not like a great first pick, because a lot of people think Chihiro is a little bit annoying, but it's obvious to me that of course she's going to be a little frustrating for people at the start, because she's this little girl whose family is moving to a new place, and she feels like she's not being heard and not being listened to or respected by adults, which is a very common thing that a lot of children feel. It has a very similar energy to Howl's Moving Castle, where it's very adorable, and the animation is sort of a
very, you know, like whimsical, but also, you know, the structures, you know, like castle and the spa both have their own personality.
Exactly. They're both kind of acting as characters throughout the film. You can see as Chihiro, why can't I speak right now? As Chihiro evolves as a character, she goes to different levels of the spa and plays different roles within the spa as she's
Yeah.
evolving as a person. And also, I mean, like, look, Haku, a dragon boy.
I get it. I get it. I get you.
I want to be a dragon boy. Like, that's my life goal. Kamaji, the old man who kind of runs the
boiler
place. He runs the boiling room. He's such a cool, funny, interesting character, and he has all the little spirit puffs.
Little Sprite.
I want like Sprite earring, no face earring, but
yes.
I just think this movie introduces a new spirit world that's not just all friendly and nice and beautiful. It's also got a very complex system to it. The environment acts as a character throughout the whole film. You can see like this is how children kind of feel when interacting with adults, which I think is an important lesson that we don't really think about when you're older. Like we kind of look at kids and we go, oh, we know what's best, but I remember being a child being very frustrated that nobody listened to me. And that's what these characters feel, and I mean, they're the ones that save the day, so you tell me who's right, adults.
Yeah, and also Chihiro's character development is just top tier. I really wish I could have put this movie on my list, but I really wanted to highlight some of the other movies, and I know everyone I've talked to loves Spirited Away, so I'm like it's got to be on Jean's list, so we're gonna talk about it, right? Like I can't just like. I'm like, even if it wasn't on either of our lists, I'd be like, you know what? A bonus entry.
Bonus entry, added in. Special mention.
Because you can't talk about Studio Ghibli without talking about this movie. It won like an Oscar, right? Like it's so good.
Yes. I make up that fact and I just don't know at all.
I'm pretty sure it did.
I know it's been nominated for like 4 awards and it definitely won 1. But I just like, it's just a movie I can watch over and over again, and I'm always happy watching it. Like it always just uplifts me, and it has this beautiful, beautiful message and beautiful story to it. Again, interesting villains. A very strange like witch character. Who has like a twin. It's very like complex, and also it's simple enough that anybody at any age can follow it, and I don't know, I just love it. Anyway.
There's so many layers to this movie. You love it, you watch it, and you realize something new, kind of like Howl's Moving Castle, you know?
Yeah, it's like it's very hard to make this list. So don't hate us for what's on this list, because you know what, everybody's gonna have a different one. Definitely honorable mentions. Kiki's Delivery Service. It's a great movie. It didn't quite make my list, but it probably would have been like 6th.
Cat Returns, also a amazing movie.
Beautiful. There's not enough room in the world to contain all the beauty that this company has put into the world.
When Marnie Was There, stunning, beautiful movie. There are so many good movies here, and Nausicaa. It was really hard. Nausicaa, yes. I love Nausicaa.
It's so good. Okay, well, anyway, we want to know your list. So even though we finished telling you ours, please comment below your top 5 Studio Ghibli films, because we want to know. We want to talk about it with you. We want to kind of connect with people who also love the same things as us. So we're looking to hear from you, not just on our YouTube page and in our YouTube comments, but also head over to our Instagram, because there we'll interact with you too.
Yeah, we have our Instagram, Project Nerd, and we also have our main channel, which is Creator Source Studios, which you can find a lot of interesting stuff on there too. But if you're looking for more nerd and anime stuff, go over to Project Nerd. We'll talk Ghibli. We got you, Sam.
Yeah. I really hope everybody enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to hit the like button, because you'll see more content like this coming up, and if you subscribe to our channel, you'll be able to see things that are coming out for the next week, and you'll be able to kind of interact with us more, and we want to interact with you. Come talk to us.
But thanks for watching this video. Oh, my cat decided to join for the last second.
Oh, hi. Wanted to make her debut.
Yes, she wanted to make the debut. But yes, Thanks for watching. Anyway, I'm Liv.
I'm Jean.
And this is Project Nerd. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.